school for 40 years or so, and Spike Dykes said he was one of the greatest high school coaches ever. And yet nobody, I didn't know about him, and a lot of people didn't know about him. And so he became the lead story. I found, well, after we heard about him, then I went back, he's in the Abilene Hall, the Big Country Hall of Fame, but he went in early. He went in the first year it was done. It was done by the Abilene AISD as their Hall of Fame. And they just inducted some people. They didn't do any biographies on them. So I went over to the school district. They didn't have anything on them. I called Al Pickett, who now runs the Big Country Hall of Fame. He didn't have anything on them. And so I Googled Lewis Kelly, Abilene, and came across a story written by a person in the Sports Information Office at New Mexico State when he was inducted into the New Mexico State Hall of Fame. And it was a great piece. And it's just super. And that's the piece we led off with in the section on sports and leisure. Of course, we have stories on the Abilene Blue Sox and Bobby Morrow's 3 gold medals when he was at ACC. Of course, the Chuck Moser years is covered. McMurray, there's a great story on McMurray's football team surviving a plane crash in 1963. They just lost a football game and they were flying and their plane had a problem and they had to do a belly landing and they all survived it. Grant Taft was the coach then, and Grant Taft and Herschel Kimbrell, who was he was the assistant football coach and head basketball coach. They were in the back of the plane without seat belts, holding down the back of the plane so that it wouldn't. They risked their lives basically to save the team. I mean, imagine if that plane hadn't survived that. I mean, if you're a Baylor fan, what would be Baylor without Grant? Anyway, good stories. There's stories on the Abilene High Championship in 2009, a story on Cooper's baseball champions during the Malone years, and a piece on Peyton Little leading Wiley to some state championships. Anyway, all that, and when we started the book, we started with a section called Spirit of Abilene. It was kind of like a prologue to all of this. And one of the pieces is A.C. Green's story piece on a village in your heart. He said everybody has a village in their heart, and Abilene is his village in the heart. And A.C. went on to be a very respected Texas author. And Jay wrote a piece some years ago about hearing a train whistle. He lives at South Side, and he'd hear a train whistle every night, and he told his daughter a story of Abilene based on the train whistle. And it's a really good piece. It was printed in the Reporter News back many years ago. And then I wrote a piece, we included a piece that I wrote in 1987 when I had been here just a couple of years as editor, and that's what I want to close with. It's called Abilene's Special Secret. One of the things most impressive to a newcomer about Abilene is the sense of community here. I've lived in towns and cities, small and large, and I've never felt a civic spirit like Abilene's. Before I moved here, I can recall seeing Dick Tarpley at editors' meetings and hearing him talk about Abilene being such a great city. I discounted that as provincial civic pride. Now I know it wasn't. It was apparent almost from the first day I moved here that this was truly a special place. It's certainly no garden spot. A visitor here wouldn't see much at first glance that seems special. The entrances to town from almost any direction are not impressive. I've lived in more scenic places, but not in friendlier places. Given the choice, I'll take friendly. And it's not just a hail fellow well met friendliness, rather it's a spirit of optimism, of satisfaction, of being in control. People like living here, it seems, because they like themselves and they like having control over their lives. That's contagious. Put a few folks together in a room who feel good about themselves and about life in general, and pretty soon most people in the room feel good. Put a lot of people like that together in a town, and pretty soon most people in town feel good. We have our share of soreheads, to be sure, people who are suspicious and negative and mean-spirited, but they aren't the ones who made Abilene what it is, and they aren't the ones who will determine what kind of city we will be. The ones who make Abilene a great city today and will make it a great city tomorrow are those who believe in the possibilities of the city, who sense that there is a special spirit here that must be nurtured, who look forward rather than backward. Without people like that, a city stagnates. With people like that, a city thrives. We have people like that. We may have economic setbacks from time to time, like we've been going through for the past year, it's 1987. But in the long run, Abilene will thrive. Abilene will thrive because Abilene knows a secret. The secret is that life is more fun when people are involved and care, when people work together for the common good. It is that spirit, that secret ingredient that makes Abilene special. Thank you very much.